Hello and welcome everyone to the Bethany Esports podcast. I'm your host, Robert Barr, and today I have joining me...
Corona.
Real name?
Real name? Jessica.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Dalton.
And Jae.
I want to thank you two for coming back, and thank you for joining me for the first time. So it's been about 4 weeks since I talked to you two. So what has happened and changed in that time?
Oh, we've had a few scrims. Not a lot. Just like here and there, whenever we can line one up. But other than that, pretty much just practicing and trying to grow as a team.
Yeah. You basically covered it all. There's not much else.
And we haven't seen you before, so why don't you introduce yourself and what do you play?
Right now I'm trying to flex for the team. I actually used to play on PS4. I was a mid-diamond player, and I was mostly a support main, but I flexed as the team needed it. So right now I'm just trying to get back to that level of comfort with being able to support my team on any role.
Okay. And how about you as an individual? Like, we just want to get to know who you guys are, so... what are you here for school for?
I'm an elementary education major, so I guess that's a bit unique on the gaming path. So, yeah, I came to Bethany from Phoenix, actually, so it's like a whole new change of scenery. And I completely love the campus because it's just such a beautiful place to be year-round as opposed to just dry heat.
I understand that. My parents moved to Tucson, so...
Yeah, it's not the best place to be in the summer.
Let's just say for 1 week while I was house sitting for them, it was 110 plus every single day.
Jesus.
My dad's also super cheap, so the AC did not go below, I think, 90 during that week.
I feel that. Yep.
So what's your year here?
A freshman.
So this is your first time here?
Yes, it is. I'm very excited for the winter.
I was about to say that's
tight
a jump.
budget on clothes,
Oh,
so
my gosh.
thank God there are tunnels.
It's kind of a jump. You go from plus 100 to minus 0.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
So how's education though? I've heard that one's a little difficult to get around. There's a lot of stuff involved.
It is in the way that if you have any previously if you brought in any credits beforehand, it's really hard to translate those credits into the classes that count because you need so many specific little nitpicky things for your licensure. And then also your program, it changes every year. So unlike most majors where you just stick with the same plan for the 4 years, every year they update what's required of you. So you have to be really careful with what you're doing. And sometimes there can be years where they just tack on an extra class. So that can increase your workload a little bit. But I mean, I'm ready for the challenge. It's not that much of a difference for me.
So are you doing all subjects or a specific one?
So I actually want to teach English as a second language in Korea. So I'm going to spend my first 5 to 10 years out of college doing that. And then I'm getting my basic education license so that I can teach elementary ed back in the States when I want to come back and have a family. So,
speaking of Korea, that's a good segue to esports because Koreans kind of dominate the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
I wonder, my favorite team I always talk about is the London Spitfire, mostly due to it being a British team that plays in America with only Koreans.
Right.
So I've heard you guys, I'm not sure who actually went, but I've heard a bunch of you sat down in the room and watched the finals.
Right.
Yep.
Which was not last week, but the week before. So how did that turn out? I saw the score. I didn't watch any of the games, but apparently it was a wash.
Yeah, it was a wash.
Yeah. It was something else. I was so happy because it was, last year it was a fully imported Korean team that won. This year it wasn't the imported team, so I was just blessed. So good.
So if anyone doesn't know, that was San Francisco Shock and Vancouver Titans.
Yes.
Yep.
And that was a 4-0.
That was rough for them.
Definitely wasn't supposed to go that way.
No.
I felt
I had my
really
money on the
bad.
Titans.
It kind of saddens me because growing up, my dad in a traditional sports was always we always hated San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco was not our favorite.
Yeah.
So That's when I saw that score, I was like,
Yeah.
I was close to Vancouver. I lived in Washington State growing up, so I should go back and watch the VODs, even though it was probably not the most. Was it entertaining though?
Oh yeah.
It was in a way at first, but the main if you watched the games, it was just San Francisco was running Bastion comps, and Vancouver just did not practice throughout the season. Like throughout the season, they had a record of really struggling against Bastion comps because it's not in the meta. And so they're like, well, it's not in the meta. We're not going to really practice against it. And that is ultimately what led to their loss, is that they had no idea like how to handle as a team a Bastion comp. And San Francisco did such a great job of just like pocketing and really boosting our Bastion. So it was really interesting to see like some neat plays and unique plays with Bastion, but it was also really saddening that like Vancouver was not prepared at all.
That's it's a what can you do? You assume someone plays one way, and then you don't practice anything else, and it seems like they rolled over. So,
but you also see like the level of preparedness that San Francisco had going in, because when the Bastion comp came at them, they handled it perfectly. I mean, they cleaned it up without any real issues. So,
any kind of comps you guys are working with together? Or are you just practicing all kinds of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, well, now it could change. The meta could change again with this new update. So we're just kind of like playing things by ear, watching videos, trying to understand what's going to be the meta this coming season, and we'll have to go from there. So,
what do the patch notes look like? Like, what's getting changed? Is anything getting added?
It's like dive's coming back.
Yep.
You want to just kind of explain that to people if they don't know?
Yeah, I mean, like dive, I guess you can just kind of imagine it as like you want tanks that are able to get in the back line quickly. You want tanks that have a lot of mobility and basically build around that. It's like a mobility power play, basically. So you want like your DPS to be able to get in quickly, get out when they need to. I don't know. It's just a very flexible play style where you can, just real flexible play style.
I mean, for anyone that actually watches Overwatch League, at the very beginning of the season, they had Hangzhou Spark. They played a very divey-like Goats comp. It's a very, very offensive play style. It's less like right now where the meta is. You hide behind a shield and you rotate shield so that your team takes minimal damage. Dive is like, so in the latest update, they're going to have Lucio. So he's one of the support characters. He gives your team a speed boost, so you can easily move past choke or everything and like regroup with your tanks. So the whole thing is that you have like these two characters, Winston or a Diva, that completely go into the enemy back line. And while the enemy team is turning around trying to handle that problem, the DPS and the healers all come in really quickly to support their tanks before they die.
So instead of like a huddle down type of comp that I was watching in the playoffs, it's more going to be like kind of like guerrilla. Get in, get out. How do you feel about that? Is that work with what you guys usually play, or is it kind of different?
It's
or
different
do you
than what
just
we're
have
playing
to
now.
adapt?
Yeah, it's just that's the thing with Overwatch. Like as soon as a new patch comes out, you adapt. It's like you never get used to something because it's always changing. So you need to just be able to pretty much play any hero at any given time, which is what we're kind of practicing right now, because you never know what's going to happen in the next patch after this next one is released. It could change again. So just being comfortable with everything is a huge part of the game.
Since the most recent update, they did the role queuing. So how does flexing work with that? Because you can't just like, it basically locks you from the other roles. So you might be able to practice a bunch of roles, but if you're trying to flex, do you have to like play a few games, back out, go back in as a different one, or?
Yeah, or every game.
Yeah, so with the way that role queue does, in practice games, yes, we can switch in and out of our roles every game, which is really nice. But if you're in a scrim, for instance, we haven't really looked at the terms, but I don't think we're allowed to change. You're just stuck on that role. Yeah, okay. But that's why as the meta changes, we have everyone learning different like heroes and feeling more comfortable with that, so that when we lock into that role, if we're like, so I mean, just in case, someone's having a bad day on healer, they can quickly switch over to tank, and then that tank can go and switch over to healer. So we're all able to play off of each other's like strengths together on any given day.
Anything else you guys want to comment on that? Or because I'm mostly asking because you're really quiet right now.
Oh,
You're trying to look cool, but you're not saying anything. So
I'm typically quiet anyway.
Typically
so.
cool.
Just sit in the back.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sitting with the shades.
I mean, no, she kind of covered like most of it. No, it's fine. Like,
It's good for me that I have people talking.
Yeah, no, she
Yeah.
basically covered what you asked. So
Let's go more. I've asked these guys last time. You got any personal goals on the esports team?
Yes, absolutely. My big thing is, realistically, in these tournaments and competitions, we're going against people that have been playing together as a team for the past couple years, have had really good coaches. So I don't expect us to be first place, but I absolutely expect us not to be last place. So I want us all, our goal is to get a really good team together and get like good chemistry that we can interact with each other, and we're able to have good call outs and give it like our best shot and try our hardest and get to being hopefully at least at diamond level.
And not only have they played together for a while, they probably played on PC for a long time, whereas you came over from a console. We talked about you last time. How was that transfer?
It was really hard at first. I'll let you in on a little secret. I actually practiced with the Zim a little bit on console, and that was a nightmare. I actually did worse with keyboard and mouse on console than I did with controller at first. So it was just so many hours of just sitting in the training room, like practice range, just trying to shoot bots, because it's a completely different set of skills. And you notice on PC, because you're better at aiming, it's easier to aim. Everyone else is. So you just have to learn how your positioning, just everything has to be so much better on PC, and you have to be attuned to what your team is doing and what the enemy team is doing so much more.
So it's more of a, would you say it's quicker pace than a console? Or do you just have to be more aware of what's going on?
You have to be more aware, because if you were on, even in like diamond level, like so above average, snipers could not, some snipers could not hit their shots at all. But here, even in low ranks, like below average ranks, snipers are predominantly most of the time hitting their shots. It's just, so you have to be much more positionally aware of not only your own team, but the enemy team as well. So it's much more into the thinking behind the game rather than just point and shoot.
Okay. So console's a little more, like, you see a lot of more mistakes going on, whereas the PC people have probably played a lot of PC games, so they're much more precise. Their flick shots are really good. I can't flick shot. I can't do that. So let's go a little bit away. What do you guys do for spending, like, you've played a lot, you practice a lot, you got to like wind down a little. I think you two playing Apex earlier. Not today, I don't think, but a few days ago.
Down today.
So,
oops.
Oh no. Shoot. My poor little GoPro. Well, we have one that'll stay up.
That's good.
We could just watch this guy. Actually, I'm going to take that one down. So you guys want to talk about how you guys spend your casual time, and I'll go fix that.
Jay starts.
Absolutely.
Okay, casual time. For me, it's more, I just like to hang out with my friends. I live with 3 other guys, and we just like to chill. That's basically it. I do like to do a little bit of photography, so when I'm not in the esports room, sometimes I go out to just take pictures, relax a little bit, but it's mostly just hanging out with friends.
Yeah, me too. Like, I played 4 years of tennis here at Bethany, so in my free time, I'll go out and just play tennis with my roommate or something like that, and I just like hanging out with people and being around people all the time. I'm a super social person when it comes to just even just playing video games. Like, I need to be playing with somebody, or I just get bored. And
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I play most games, if it has any type of multiplayer, I have to play with a friend I know, because it's just way more entertaining that way.
yeah,
And I'm not as people would call, a sweaty person. Sweaty persons are sweaty people. We'll give them their own category. Are people that are considered tryhards. They it's all about the wins. It's all about their stats, and I'm not that. I don't have the motivation nor the focus to be that. So I usually want to play with my friends. If I'm not feeling that, I'll usually tend to get on like a single player game, and then I'll, in a way, either play Brain Dead, where I just go around doing whatever, or I'll, if I really like story-based games, and the story doesn't even have to be that good. Like, I play a lot of JRPGs. I just need to spend time. So,
yeah.
like, I've actually had in the background behind me last year, I had a speed run of Final Fantasy IX. Let me tell you, a speed run of Final Fantasy IX is 9 hours.
Yeah. Jeez.
So I would have that in the background, and it would be playing while I'm playing a single player game where either I know the story so well because I've done it so much before, or I'm not really caring about the story, but I'm just kind of roaming. Like, if I'm playing Minecraft, if I'm playing Skyrim, I'll throw that in the background, and then I'll just go around because I just need the white noise. So
Yeah. See, I'm a sweaty. All my friends are all sweaty too, so we get pretty mad at each other sometimes, and then we got to take a little break. Like, me and Jay, we're just kind of getting like probably a little burnt out on Overwatch that they're playing for so long, and then it's like, you know what, let's just play something else for a while and just
play some Apex.
play a little Apex, keep the aim up, and not get so upset about it.
I'd recommend playing, if you have free time, playing some Borderlands. Got to get some humor in your life.
Yeah,
I haven't
Borderlands
played
is
any of the
fun.
Borderlands games.
Oh,
I've heard they're really good.
They're
but-
funny. They're a shoot 'em up type of game. There's a bunch of weapons that have some really fun and interesting names. They're in Borderlands 2. There is a gun that is cursed, so every time you pull it out, your movement speed is slowed, and it shouts like someone shouting when it shoots, and
That's
it
pretty
does
funny.
vocals like someone saying when you reload it. Yeah, that one's a little sensitive. I'll tell you guys after it, but there's another funny thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually not that bad. There's a diamond horse called Butt Stallion. What game can you have that?
Borderlands.
Yeah, apparently.
Borderlands 3 just came out too, and it's a 4-player game. So if you have just like free time and you just want to laugh, have fun while playing games, I recommend Borderlands. Mostly because you don't really have to think when you play that game. So, what about you? What do you do in your free time?
Not a sweaty gamer, but a heavy gamer. So I actually play a lot of fighter games, like linear fighting games on PS4. Like, so many. I waste so many hours on Under Night. I don't know if you know, but that's in Evo. They recently just took out Smash Melee, and that's the game that came in to replace it. So it's really interesting. I like it. It's just basically the same thing as like Street Fighter or
You play Mortal Kombat?
yeah,
Mortal
Mortal Kombat,
That one's
yeah.
a little more visceral. But
Ooh, Mortal Kombat's a good
dude.
game.
there's a YouTube channel I should recommend to you guys who does some very interesting. There's some facts about Mortal Kombat when it was being made that just will fascinate you. Like the you know how they had mortalities? That was a random thing that they did that they threw in there. Like, no one will ever get it. It'll just be something random, and it'll drive some sales when someone finally gets it. Do you know how long it took someone to find immortality? Want to make a guess?
Couple hours.
About 10 minutes
Yeah.
into their demo,
no.
and it was a little kid that did it.
Button mash for the win.
But that's the thing. They did random butt mashing that wasn't even a part of the kits. So when the kid did it, and he told them like this happened, and the makers were like, "I don't believe you."
Oh, that's so sad. It's lying to a little kid. How could you
But
do that?
it drove the sales by word of mouth due to this. So Mortal Kombat got its like explosion due to that. Do you know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is?
Sounds familiar.
Sounds
He's a guy that does splits. a lot, and he was in, I think, the Street Fighter movie.
There's a movie for that?
I think.
There's a lot of terrible fighting game movies.
Yeah.
No, it might have been a Mortal Kombat. I forget what it is. But no, he was supposed to be like the face of it. It was supposed to be the Jean-Claude Van Damme fighting game. He didn't want to be a part of it. But they made, was it Johnny Cage?
Yes.
I was blanking on his first name. It's basically in the likeness of that guy.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So there's I've learned, if you have a person who presents facts about something you care about in an interesting way, I will learn all day. I don't care. That's what I do in my free time as well. So I'm also really bad at playing fighting games.
Oh, I am too.
I can't do those combos.
No, I button mash. I mean, the easiest one that I have purchased recently was Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. It has like the easiest inputs you can button mash. Also, like the basic combo for Under Night, you literally just button mash square. But the thing is that my fiance, he went to Evo to go and play Smash Melee. So like he's really good at these games, and I'm just like, he gets really frustrated because he says, Jess, how can your brain lag button mashing inputs beat like actual combos on occasion? Because he's like, I expect you to do one thing because that's what everyone else does, but
the button mashers don't do that.
Yeah, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's like he doesn't even know what to expect because I don't even know what I'm doing. And that's where I get, it's really funny to see, just to have the unexpected come in. It's more brain dead.
No, the reason why I was laughing at the Blaze Blue thing is I didn't realize that was a fighting game until after I watched part of the anime.
Oh my gosh, no, it's a good meme though. Like honestly, even the games, there's just so many dumb things.
Can you tell
that
what's
happen.
going on in those? I couldn't tell what the anime was about.
Yeah, the anime was absolutely horrible. It's like for people that have already been in the game series, like for like the first couple games.
I don't understand the story.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
No, it's not.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's a
don't
Japanese
worry.
fighting game. Don't even.
It's a Japanese game. What do you expect?
They're JRPG niche markets.
Oh man, I've seen some like Japanese stores, and there's some strange things that can be in there.
I'd imagine.
Game stores specifically. So
The game stars aren't even the worst things.
Oh no. we won't talk about the worst things.
Talk about the worst things. Huh?
Yeah, Japan's weird.
Yeah, but we love them.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
they make most of the content I consume.
I feel that hard. But honestly, their fandom stores, they know how to do it like ace. Oh my gosh. I went to J World in Tokyo when I was visiting my family. And that's, for people that don't know, it's for like Shonen Jump, which is like the guy action type style anime stuff.
I'll summarize. If anyone knows what DC and Marvel Comics is, Shonen Jump is that, but for Japan. That's the easiest way of explaining that.
Okay.
Except it's more weirder. There's like this.
Oh, it's because it's Japanese. What do you expect?
That's true. Like, there's this.
I was being simple.
How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about this?
I don't care.
Yeah.
See,
It's weird, but some of the stuff is pretty good.
you have a mic and you're very far away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be, while recording, I'm gonna complain to you because I have trouble editing these.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, we completely derailed you.
Sorry.
Continue. J ruled. Shonen Jump.
They have
The fandom
have
stores.
so many like just little itty bitty things, like so many pins you can like. They have like bath bombs, like, or like bath salts, like for different characters, and then they have some, yeah. It's so weird. And then actually, my favorite thing is that their crane games they're winnable. Unlike in the States where it's just like rigged, put in $50 in a machine at Walmart, get nothing. There you put in like, you watch the machines because they have like a couple story buildings, you can actually get stuff, and that's how you get your limited edition fandom merch. So that's nice. Oh, another thing that J World has that's super weird, they have like different food. They have like anime food, so like food that you would see in the show that's like really weird food, like.
But looks amazing.
I don't even know.
Or
They
it just
have
looks
some
weird
food.
still.
Some of them look weird if they're directly from it, but some of them are like attributed to characters, and they're also weird. Like they had like some pretty different color looking burgers like the buns were rainbow and like, but like tie-dye
Yeah.
rainbow. It's special.
Doesn't sound
So
healthy.
you laughed earlier, but let me tell you this: if there's a niche market, or if there's a niche interest of anything in Japan, they will have 14,000 different merches for that entire niche thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's-
I believe it.
It's so weird. It's a country. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a country that's slowly losing population.
Because your 2D waifus are better than your 3D waifus. Like, let's be honest there.
Well, there's other reasons.
Oh boy.
I don't know if we should get into it, but
Should probably stray away from that one.
I will neither confirm nor deny anything that she was commenting on.
Yeah.
So, how have you been?
How have I been?
Do you have any niche markets you care about?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I don't think I do.
Slime.
What?
What?
Slime.
You're not into that weird slime stuff?
I
Like,
don't
no,
know
they
what
have
you're
like
referring to.
like
the
you
stuff
make
that
the
was
slime.
made like 20 years ago, that stuff?
I mean the stuff that's like really popular
Like-
now.
Like the ASMR stuff.
No, we're not doing that here.
No.
We won't even talk about that here. I will mute your mic.
Robert Barr.
I have muted your mic. I'm gonna mute yours too. At a certain point, it's literally just gonna be me and Jay talking, which basically just means it's me talking the entire time.
Yeah.
So,
probably.
Jay, how are you doing? Please
Oh.
say something while their mics are muted.
I'm good. I'm really tired, but I mean.
Is
I'm
that why
always
you're wearing
tired.
sunglasses?
Yeah, always tired. It's like Post Malone tattoo, you know?
As you can
No.
see, your mic is muted.
Oh, that's fine.
You might be able to hear yourself, but
Yeah, you can hear it in my mic.
I can't hear him, so that's all that matters to me.
Okay.
You have anything to say? You're still muted.
I don't know. Like, what do you want to hear?
What do you do? Do you watch any traditional sports?
Traditional sports. I'm big into football. That's pretty much it. Well, basketball. Oh, I'm a huge basketball fan. That's those two are like pretty much what I do in my free time. Other than esports, is I pay attention to a lot of statistics and stuff like that. Keep up to date.
I
follow
probably
them.
asked you. It was probably 4 weeks ago when I asked. What's your major?
So I'm a sociology major and a communications minor.
Your hoodie and everything. I don't see sociology. I'm sorry.
Sociology. See, sociology to me is the most antisocial, held back
Oh, also I unmuted you.
major. It's definitely very laid back and just learning about different groups of people and why they do the things they do. It's actually very relaxing to just go into class and learn. And obviously, since I came to Bethany, they cut that program. Like, they no longer give out sociology degrees, but I was
I don't think they do
grandfathered
that
in.
with math either, and I know someone that was grandfathered.
Yep.
So
Yep. So people that I think if you were a second semester sophomore or a first semester junior, you were grandfathered into the program. So
kind of sucks for the people that came here for it.
yeah, no, actually there was a few that had to leave the school because of that were in our department.
Well, the reason I've heard was because there was just not enough.
Yeah, there was only 4 people in my class, so there was 2 that got grandfathered in, 2 that had to leave. But I think they're going more towards I forget what they call it, like majors that are, I guess, more applicable now, because obviously sociology is kind of a dying field compared to like engineering, nursing. But yeah, I like it.
Whereas for me, I'm the only one graduating from my department this semester. Then there's going to be like, I think 3 or 4 next semester. But then like the freshman media arts classes has like 20 some odd people in them. And I'm like, yeah,
That's good.
yay, our major. What about you? I will probably forget in the next like 4 weeks what I asked any of your majors. I'll probably remember yours because you've talked the most. These guys I had to like drag out last time.
I'm a graphic design, media arts major with a minor in business. So, yeah.
So you're double majoring and
Double
a minor.
majoring and minoring.
Man, I don't have that motivation.
Well, like the graphic design and media arts, there's
There's a lot of overlap.
There's a lot of overlaps. So that's why it's a lot easier because a lot of the classes are similar.
Yeah.
So
But isn't there one of the graphics classes that's like 4 hours or 3 hours long?
Yeah. I haven't taken that one yet. I don't really want to, but I think I have to, and that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But
There's like 3 of those. It's like illustration and there's digital painting, I think.
I think digital paint's only like 2 hours.
Was that?
I
Okay.
think so.
How long ago did they add the graphic design major then?
That was like my freshman year.
It was I think
Yeah,
a little
2
earlier
or
than
3
that.
years ago.
Two or 3 years ago.
It was
Yeah,
a part of
that
the
would've been
studio
okay.
art section, right?
Yeah, and then
So then
now
it
it's
became its own major.
Well, it's its own major.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Studio art
Gotcha.
confuses me because there's like 3 different
Yeah,
emphases over
right.
there.
Okay.
So if that became its own major, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I figured it was. I think my roommate. I don't know if he graduated with media art or graphic design. I think it was media art.
It's the
Yeah.
it's the best major. I will tell all of you right here. You get to do this because it's media arts.
My roommate actually made the esports logo too. And
Were you Carter?
Yep. Carter
Ooh.
Dahl. He's my roommate.
I keep trying to tell him to teach me Photoshop, but he's one of them alumni that he's basically like a 40-year-old man in the business,
Yep.
but he's still like 24 or 5, whatever.
Yeah. No, he does.
He's
a
like
lot of
going
stuff.
golfing with like MSU people, and it's
Yep.
like, what are you?
Yeah. No, he's definitely an old soul.
It's like he's born in the wrong era.
Yeah, he was. You can tell just by what he's interested in, the music he listens to. He's an old man, but
Born in the wrong era, but born in the right area due to his
yeah, his major.
business aspirations. That's what I
Yeah,
was
graphic
thinking of.
design. Can't do that 20 years ago even. I mean,
Well, you could.
yeah, you could.
But
It was
it's
not
a little
yeah,
harder.
Yeah.
So, what are you planning to do with graphic design, media arts? You could do stuff with business.
Yeah, with
But-
Bob, you can do almost anything with business. I don't really know quite yet. I'm thinking probably do some freelance work when I get out of college, and then hopefully, like, once I get my name out there, get into more some like business type stuff, like get into more corporations. Hopefully, but I guess we'll just see.
Well, my aspirations are what we're doing right now, just esports stuff, but I have to find an in. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a lot of going out of your way, finding what you're gonna do. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
what were you thinking of doing with your stuff?
So right now I could maybe be like a corrections officer at a state prison is what I'm thinking that I want to do the most. But also my girlfriend's mom actually is a personal care assistant, and my field would actually translate well into doing something like that. All I need to do is get a year of experience, which I'm lining up now currently. So I've got plenty of options. But I think I'm leaning more towards the corrections officer's position. So
I don't even have to ask you.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I wanna be a
what it
teacher.
is.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it elementary, high school?
So in Korea, I would be teaching English to high school students. In America, I'm just going to teach elementary. So like, I ideally want to stay between K to 3rd grade.
Before they get too rebellious.
Yeah, I mean,
Even though they're rambunctious at that
I'm-
time.
Yeah.
it's easier because, I mean, I'm like super short. And the main reason I don't want to teach high school here is that
You don't look up at your students?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I wear 5-inch heels every day because I
those
don't
are
like looking
huge.
up to people.
Holy
like
crap.
it hurts my neck. But
wow.
no,
I'm gonna insult my sisters right here. They're 5 even, and they're almost they're seniors next year in high school. So
well, it depends. All of my friends were over 5'10", so it was just your feet can get calluses. You get used to that. It doesn't feel pain anymore. Your neck will always be sore if you're always looking up. So and I also couldn't reach my top locker once I finally got one. So it was more of like, do I want to get my books for class? Yeah.
Bring a footstool or a ladder every day.
Yeah.
in my freshman year, my school was weird because we had rented portables out of this one church area, and then we moved to a new building because the school that was there did bad stuff with their finances and they lost it. They went out. We bought the building. We became there. So my freshman year, the lockers were in like a few different portables, and it was the outdoors. And you're in Washington State. It rains almost all the time.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, I was just like, I'll just carry all my books. Let's just say my kind of hurt for a year because it was like 7 class periods that I had books for. That was not fun. Let me tell you, sophomore through senior year when I had a locker, abuse that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anything else you guys want to comment on? We're going pretty strong now. I can wrap it up at any time.
Yeah, no, I think just going back to the whole Overwatch thing, we're just like continuing to grow as a team, continuing to practice, find other schools that are willing to scrim against us, and then we're going to translate into our preseason hopefully soon. And then we'll see what happens in spring. Hopefully we'll have some new faces around even. Sounds like there's some people interested in coming to play Overwatch here, so we'll be excited to have them as well. Maybe even get a JV team if we have enough people. So
maybe I'll force Franklin on this next time too.
Yeah. Well,
maybe kick him out, replace him with Franklin.
Yes.
Ooh, spicy.
I will bring you back as long as you can talk more.
Oh, you're talking about this. I thought you meant the team. I was
No,
like,
no.
I was like,
I have no say on the team. I can't do anything with that. That's not my purview. Also, I remembered I insulted my sisters and you were commenting on shorts. I have a completely another tangent because we were also talking about Shonen Jump. I totally gave my sisters a manga about the short volleyball player, Haikyuu. I gave it to her.
Yeah.
She's height conscious and she hates it, but she's also the best spiker on their volleyball team. And I was like, this is perfect. So I handed it to her. She got, let me tell you, a height conscious sibling, and you give them a book that basically is them. They're not happy.
Yeah.
She was nonplussed with that one.
Yikes.
Ugh. So, you have any last comments?
Not unless you have any questions.
We're wrapping up. You can say whatever you want. That's a lie. You can't say whatever you want.
Not anything.
Get banned from Twitch.
I'm hoping I don't get demonetized on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ooh. No.
No?
That's it.
Okay. Jay? Any wise words of wisdom behind them shades?
Probably not, but no, yeah, like just saying what basically we hope to get better as a team, not just like game wise, just building just like friendships basically, because that when it comes to sitting at computers for so long and like to be like comfortable there the whole time, you need to like have relationships with each other, and so having that friendship is going to be super helpful in the long run, and I think that'll really help our team.
I think you should also learn that because you're playing with the same people for so long, you should also learn to try and not hate each other as well. So
Yeah, I don't hate anybody. We have a good team. We have a lot of laughs. We get along, and we're only going to get closer as we get into the season, and sharing wins and losses with each other. Well, it's definitely going to like improve our teamwork and our chemistry. So
100%.
Okay. That's everything? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for joining me today on the Bethany Esports podcast. This has been recorded on Monday, October 7th, and I hope to see you in the next one.